I did my first ever marathon 3 weeks ago, and that was the toughest thing I had ever tried to do in my life because I only started running like early this year and I've already ran over 900 kilometers. And after running for those 900 kilometers and over 10 months, here's everything I know about running that might actually be helpful to you. Let's go. Number one, the first thing that I want to stress on if you are a beginner runner is that training your legs is really, really, really important for you to get better at running. Let me give you an example. So, I started running in January this year, but until July or even August, I think, until August, I was not training legs at all. I was going to gym, I was hitting upper body workouts, but I was not training legs as much as I should have. And then I realized in July and August I was trying to increase my speed. My 10k time was like 56 minutes and I was trying to make it better. I was trying to get it under 50 minutes, but it was very hard. I could not do a 10-kilometer run in 50 minutes even after running for like 6 months, and that was really hurtful, and I was giving up and I was like feeling bad about myself and everything. But then I was like, okay, you know what, I'll start training legs and I'll see if that helps. So I trained legs for like next 5 weeks or something, not every day but twice a week. I trained legs, basic exercises for calves, shin, your knees, hamstrings, lower back and all that. And I trained my legs for 5 weeks, I think. And after that I tried my 10k again, and this time I was able to break the 50-minute mark. I was able to do my 10k in 46 minutes. And I agree to it. A lot of it goes to the fact that I've been running for the last 6 months, but also at the same time, training legs made it very easy for me. Not only it helped me increase the speed, but also it helped me do the long runs very easily because I was training my lower back. I was doing deadlifts. So I trained my lower back, and since I was training my lower back, I was able to run for 3-4 hours continuously without it hurting my back, and that was very important. So this is something that beginner runners, or even I would say intermediate runners, miss out on, which is they don't focus enough on training their body, and they just, they think running alone can help you become better at running. As stupid as it sounds, running alone is not going to help you become better at running. You have to train your body. You have to gain some muscles in some parts of your body which are crucial and helpful for when you're going for runs. So yeah, training, number one thing that you should focus on. Second thing that I want to stress on is planning. For the first half of this year, I had no plans of how many kilometers I'll be doing per week or whatever. There would be weeks where I would do like 5-10Ks consecutively on 5 days, and then there'd be weeks where I did not do a single run for 5 days continuously. And that is like a horrible way of training, let me tell you. It's gonna hurt you a lot. Here's the thing, if you're not training consistently, if you're not doing consistently, let's say 40 kilometers every week, you take like 2 weeks off your training schedule because you're busy or whatever, and then you go the very next week and you're like, you know what, I'll make up for the last 2 weeks, I'll do 50 kilometers this week. Horrible idea. You're gonna end up hurting yourself, you're gonna have a lot of injuries, and it's not fun. That's why you should have some sort of a plan. What I did after the first 6 months of this year was that I started having some target mileage for every week, depending on how hectic that week is for me. So it would range anywhere from 30 kilometers to 60 kilometers, depending on how much I want to train that week, how much time do I have, and other factors like weather, etc. etc. That was one of the most crucial things that helped me achieve my goal and help me complete my first ever marathon. So yeah, planning is really important. Do not go and run without a plan. Have some sort of a plan of, okay, I will run on these days, I will do these many kilometers. It's okay to have like plans and still not be able to complete them. It's okay. It's okay. The idea is just have a plan. Do not spend your 7 days without running and then next 7 days you ran 50 kilometers magically. Don't do that. Have some sort of a plan and try to stick to that plan as much as you can. And I think that goes for pretty much everything in life, not just running. But yeah, specifically for running, if you want to get better at it, have some sort of a plan, have some sort of a goal, and then make a plan and then follow the plan for yourself. That's like second most crucial thing if you want to get better at running. Third thing that I want to talk about, which I absolutely don't like, is injuries. That's the unfortunate truth. I don't like injuries, but I keep getting injured while I'm training for marathon, while I'm playing football or doing other things. I'm very prone to getting injured in my legs. I sometimes I hurt my shins, sometimes it's my calf, sometimes it's my ankles. So what I've learned during this whole training period of 2 months or over 2 months for my marathon is that two things. One is to I have to learn how to deal with injuries mentally, because when I'm injured I feel guilty of not running, and then what I do is try to compensate it by running more the next week, which is a shit idea. Don't do that. Stick to your plan. If your plan says that the next week you should do 30 kilometers, you should just stop at 30. Do not go to 50 kilometers just because you were injured the week before and try to compensate for it. No, that's not a great idea. Second thing that I learned is how to avoid getting injured that often while I'm training for my marathon or while I'm doing other things. I am still very prone to injuries, but the number has reduced drastically because of three things: shorter strides, better form, and not doing all of my runs on road. I would run on treadmill, I would go find a ground to run on, and then also I would run on roads. But there'd be like a very good balance between all three so that I don't end up hurting myself. And also good shoes. Yeah, I use Nike shoes. That's there. So do that. Focus on how to avoid injuries while you're training for running, your first marathon or whatever. I play football, by the way, and football is one of those games where the chances of you getting hurt or injured are like really, really high. But yeah, I try to be very careful. I wear shin pads and everything, and I try to avoid, getting injured while playing a match. But yeah, these are things that you can do. You can work on your posture and all that things and avoid injuries. That is the third thing that I wanted to stress about. Now the fourth thing is a collection of bunch of different things. So it might seem like a rant or it might seem like a monologue, but here we go. You really need to find some good clothes that you feel comfortable in while running. For me, Decathlon shorts and t-shirt work really well. I wear Nike shoes. It took me almost 6 months to reach a point where I'm comfortable wearing a short while running outside, because I used to have that negative body image of not feeling great about my legs and all. So yeah, find good clothes that make you feel comfortable while you're running. And sometimes if the weather is like sweaty and all, you should find clothes that help you, that are breathable. Don't wear t-shirts like this, the current one that I'm wearing. This is not great for running. If I go out for a run in this, I'll be extremely sweaty and I'll have rashes all over my body. So find some good clothes that can help you in all of those weather. If it's cold, then find the appropriate clothing. Clothing is one thing. Another thing is your meals and your diet. You should be taking like some amount of carbs before your runs. Do not go and do like a half marathon with an empty stomach. It doesn't feel great. I've done it, and that's why I'm telling you. Also have like running gels or bananas, whatever, something for carbs, and have it after every 45 minutes of your run. So if you're running for like 2 hours, what I like to do is I like to have one or two banana before my run, and then after 45 minutes I would have a running gel, and I would keep repeating the process for however long I plan to run. This is just to make sure that my body has enough fuel for what I am forcing it to do. I don't want my body to work without fuel, and that is not a great thing. So yeah, meals is the second thing that I wanted to say. Third thing that you can probably do is like document your runs and everything on some applications like Strava. You can use Strava. I use Strava. There are other apps also, Nike Run Club app and a bunch of other different apps. I use Strava. Strava works fine for me. It's a great app because I get to track my runs, then I can analyze them. I get a weekly view and everything. Plus it's fun to connect with friends on Strava and then show off that you just did like a half marathon this morning while your friends were sleeping. That's fun. But yeah, these are some of the things that I learned this year while I trained for my first ever marathon. I'm very excited for next year. I have a lot of goals in my mind of what I want to do in terms of running and all, and I can't wait to start running again. I am running right now also, but there's no like a goal right now for this year, at least for the next one-ish months that I have left. I am taking it slow and just enjoying my runs for now. From January, I'll start training again. More on that maybe in some other video. But yeah, these are some of the things that I wanted to share. I hope these were useful for you. If you're an intermediate beginner runner, or if you need any sort of help related to running or whatever, find my Instagram in the description of this video. Hit me up, I'll help you. I will also link down all the things that I talked about, the running gel, clothes, shoes, Strava, or whatever I'm using. All of those things in the description of this video. None of it is sponsored, by the way. I am talking about all of these things because I personally use them and I find them very useful. Yeah, that's it. That's probably all. I'll see you soon in the next video.